pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so the visitors and citizens forum, do we have anyone?
No one has signed up.
No request, okay. So we'll move to the consent agenda. There's 3 items here. Does anyone have any questions or comments about any of them? No? So do I need a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Okay.
All right, so we'll move to the regular agenda. First item is discussion of the dark sky application submittal status. And we are in the process of putting that application together. It's going to be somewhere between 50 and 100 pages, right?
We're 52 right now.
52. So we are, Cheryl France and myself and Linda are putting this package together, and we plan to submit it, at least a final draft, by March 27th, I think, right? And then it will, our coordinate there will review it, come back to us with any recommendations for changes before it's formally presented to their board. And we should know about, what, 60 days after that?
I think so. I think that we should, assuming everything goes through and we don't get negative feedback that slows us down, I think when I looked at the calendar, we should hear a final determination in August.
Okay. So that's what we're shooting for. All right. So any questions? Okay. I probably would suggest when we get it to a point of being somewhat final, if anyone's interested in reviewing it, you're more than welcome to do that. So let me know if you're interested, and we'll make sure that you get a copy of it. All right. So the next item on the regular agenda is a resolution supporting our application. This is something that is done very frequently. We found out by other municipalities who have received the designation, and it is just simply, although we passed the ordinance and we're applying, it's just another kind of feather in our cap, if you will, if the council approves a resolution stating basically that we're supporting what IDA is trying to accomplish and so forth. So I believe there was a draft of it in the package. Does anyone have any questions regarding it?
I don't have any questions. I mean, we've been working towards that anyway. I mean,
Right.
Have some ongoing projects toward it, upgrading the flag light poles, things like that. So,
Yeah, okay.
and the marquee.
Okay, so do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to pass the resolution to the Dark Sky community, or the Dark Skies program.
Okay,
I second.
all right, all in favor? All right. All right, next on the agenda is consideration of repeal of ordinance 1408. And that deals with the ordinance that was set up. It was referenced in last month's meeting by Mayor Vargas. And the ordinance actually set up the road maintenance fund. which we used on several occasions to repair the roads. But now that we have a project in motion to, concrete the roads, there's no reason to have that ordinance any longer. So, the funds that were being driven into that were the roll-off fees and I believe the franchise fees. So now instead of going into that fund, if you will, those funds will now be directed to the general fund. Okay? Do you have any questions regarding the repeal?
I just have one. I know why we're doing this. We don't want to be putting this money aside for road repair specifically since we're redoing the concrete, but
Right.
for spot repairs, like I noticed we're having a lot of potholes here on Lake Crest heading out, and that road's so heavily traveled. We do that out of the general fund, or
Yes.
we would still have the capability of doing that?
We still have the capability of doing it.
I don't think we need to do it anywhere, but maybe over here, because.
Yeah, and I've called that to our mayor's attention as well, and with the weather, we haven't had much of an opportunity to, put some of that, whatever that, coal patch, yeah. And I believe we've got,
There's a few bags.
there's a few bags, so,
But
that's something that we need to do for sure, because there's some very bad spots, a couple of them. That I guess everybody has to drive around, so, when the weather improves, but to answer your question, yes, we'd have the option of doing that, for sure.
Okay.
All right, so, do I have a motion to repeal the ordinance 1408?
I make a motion to approve the repeal of ordinance 1408.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? All right, very good. Okay, next is some discussion regarding the concrete roads. Help me, Linda, what was that one about?
Boarding locations.
Okay, yes. Last month, I recall that Mayor Vargas also talked about the need to do some borings to check the quality or the makeup of the what's underneath the roads, if you will. And so we have received a response from Kimberly Horn. And so I wanted to share that with you. Here's the schedule. Drilling work will begin 2 or 3 weeks after the notice to proceed. Drilling should take 2 or 3 days to complete once started. Lab testing and preparation of the engineering report will take an additional 1 to 2 weeks to complete. So the total time required for the project is somewhere between 5 and 7 weeks after the notice to proceed. They're going to be doing some, call it drilling, is that what you mean? Boring, sorry. In about 16 locations on the roads where we're going to be concreting. The borings will occur at each intersection and at the end of any of the cul-de-sacs. And for the longer roads, like for example, High Ridge, Melody, maybe Cary, I can't recall offhand, they'll also do boring in the middle of those long stretches. So they're trying to canvas, to get a knowledge of what the base is. So that's pretty much an update on the timeline. Anybody have any questions? No?
Yeah.
Okay. So related to that is an additional task order for the concrete roads. And this was also talked about in last month's meeting. And this requires approval of a $5,000 lump sum fee for some additional engineering work to look at the proposed locations of several different road intersections. One is where Stowe would intersect with the proposed new road coming from the entrance, and the other location would be looking at moving our entrance. So, any questions regarding that?
Is that just for coming up with a design for that, or studying what the issues would be doing it, or what exactly?
Let me just read you what the consultant would recommend, and recommendations would involve. Confirming the proposed location is acceptable from a geometric and site distance standpoint. Performing a trip generation exercise using existing homes and evaluate the need for a right turn, at the new proposed entrance, off of El Dorado. And then discussing the potential validity of a future signal at that intersection on El Dorado. So those are the three items that this consultant fee would cover. All right, any other questions? All right, may I have a motion?
So we've been talking about this before, though. I mean, we've talked about the possibility of doing the feasibility, but, so, I mean, you mentioned 5,000 to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see it there.
Yeah. So is 5,000 a not to exceed, or is that's a flat fee?
It's a flat fee to cover those three issues.
Okay, we've talked about this before, and this is just something, I think this is the first time we've kind of discussed it, a little bit of formality, but I think I'd rather see a little bit more to this. Maybe an overlay of a map and what the deliverables are, because it sounds like we've talked a little bit about Stowe and Melody, that potential future intersection with the development, and this also sounds like we're talking about Lake Crest and El Dorado.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any problem with
Yeah,
not taking any action on it, moving it until next month, but that's,
I think I would prefer a table, and I don't know if anybody else, what their thoughts are.
are you guys fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll table this item for further discussion at next month's meeting.
This is just something, thinking about the future, right? This is not something, right now, that changing the front entrance isn't happening with concrete roads. That would be if someone came in and developed.
No.
Yeah, at some point we have to do a feasibility study, but
Right
like,
now.
we talked about this, now it's starting to get a little bit formal, but
Mhm.
it just feels like I don't know, some,
Glenn, do you know what this trip generation exercise is, using existing homes? Do you know what that means?
I think that's, I'm not sure that's part of why I kind of want to, I assume Mark started this, so let's.
Yeah, yeah.
My guess that just has to do.
And this will have to be done at some point,
Right.
I think as well, so, but that's fine.
I
I
don't
don't
think it's
think-
critical that we get it
No.
done this month.
Mhm.
I don't think waiting, 30 days or whatever's going to hurt
See
anything.
really what the 5,000 covers and what we get from.
Okay. All right, so we'll table this till next month for some additional follow-up and information, okay?
And I'll get with Mark.
Okay.
Between meetings.
All right, good deal. All right, so that takes us down, I believe, to item 6 on the regular agenda, which is the status of the well that we were needing to drop. I know that we have the material, the piping, is that what it's called?
Casey,
Casing, thank you.
or, I'm sorry, you're right,
It's over in the water plant, but we were informed today again that next week is when the actual work will be done. Right, Linda?
Right.
Okay.
Complete or started?
Started.
Tuesday?
Started and complete, I believe
Yeah,
it's,
he said one day.
it's only expected,
Monday?
Oh, okay.
It's Monday to.
One
do
day
the
effort,
job.
yeah. so hopefully we'll get that done next week. All right, any other discussion on that? No, all right. I do not have a need to have executive session unless one of you guys do. So we'll skip that. And the last item on the agenda are any reports of items of community interest. No?
I have two. The Easter egg hunt, the town Easter egg hunt is going to be Saturday, April the 12th from 9 to noon. I believe it's going to be like we had before with the laser tag and the DJ and events around town that seem to be really well received. And our spring crawfish boil, sponsored by Authority Roofing, is going to be April the 27th, which is the following Saturday. And it is going to feature a car and motorcycle show. So if you know anybody in town that, is a car guy and wants to show off his ride,
Who's putting on the car show?
it's Authority Roofing.
When was the Easter egg hunt?
The Easter egg hunt is April the 20th. It's the Saturday before Easter. And then the crawfish boil is the following Saturday on the 27th.
All right, good.
They're just trying to make it better and more fun. And there seem to be quite a few people that we've talked to are excited about that.
It was a good turnout last year, for both actually.
Pray for good weather. Okay, anything else? No? All right. Then I think I need a motion.
Make a motion to close the meeting?
Second, all in favor? All right.
This meeting is right?
How long was that meeting?
Yeah, you
21 minutes.
21.
Well,
we
minutes. Only 17 minutes.
No, that's
We
like
started
you're
4
counting
minutes late.
this up from somebody.
Good job.
That takes down Carl, doesn't it?
I think so, it might.
Linda, are you doing this Easter stuff?
No. I mean, I can help.
It's me,
No.
I wonder if it's me.
Oh, it is.
I did, but I'm happy to turn it
So when
over.
are the concrete roads actually supposed to occur?
Huh? Yeah.
20, February of 2020 is when it's supposed to start.
Listen, I mean,
Is it this trip as well?
Hi, Rich.
I tried to ask, but I thought that was part of some of the stuff you wanted to do.
You tell her you knew me.
I mean, I don't mind pushing out.
She goes, I'm home.
So meanwhile, if we have a catastrophe, which our roads are currently a catastrophe,